we are going to have at the polling station level, we must have 50 members who are paid up. That means you have paid the 150 shillings and you want to vie as an official, then at your polling station, you must have recruited 50 people who must be voters in that particular area. So as the election board works at the county level, they work in consultation with the branch officers. I don't know if I'm just giving, I'm just giving a brief. Honorable Busaidi will take us step by step. Then you need actually to know who are the branch officials. You need to know who are the branch election coordinating officials. You need to know who is the returning officer of that branch. Let me give an example like Nairobi. In Nairobi, the elections board has not yet formed the election panels. So as they move on, they will come to Nairobi, they will identify officials, but this will be done in consultation with the branch and other officials so that we get people with credibility, loyal members, people who can conduct for us party primaries without issues. If I may again just briefly touch on party lists. It is important that as the youth, you get to understand what is in the current Kenyan Constitution, what is in the current ANC Constitution, and if BBI goes through, then again you need to understand and know the articles in BBI. What do they say about party lists? Remember, under the Katiba ruling, what IBC has said about party lists. How will political parties come up with party lists? As a youth, if you are intending to vie, please familiarize yourself with the Katiba ruling, the ANC Constitution, the nomination rules. We are going to go through them today, and also the Constitution of Kenya. It is very, very important indeed. Mr. Busaidi, I don't know if Honorable Busaidi has joined us, has he? Kenya, has
yes.
Honorable Busaidi joined?
I've joined, Margaret.
Very good. So I was just giving a summary as I was waiting for you. So I think you can take over the session.
Yes.
And go through the nomination guidelines, because I was giving the highlights. So as you go through, then I can also chip in here and there. So karibu sana Mheshimiwa Busaidi.
Thank you very much, Margaret, and thank you for taking over. Isaac, do you have the rules? Have you posted them on the wall?
Yes, we have them. My colleague Tracy is sharing the screen.
Okay, thank you very much. I think if we start off first and foremost, and I know Margaret has mentioned this, as far as the rules are concerned, if we start off, well, the pages there which are on the wall, The booklet itself is 46 pages. Table of contents with preamble, citation, interpretation, election board, functions of the election board. I think I'll start off first with the functions of the election board itself. The election board was set up under the Constitution, 32 and 33, Article 32 and 33 created the elections board, which primarily is responsible, is being given the mandate to hold the elections board. Can I continue?
Yes. Continue.
Okay, the elections board's functions are to carry out elections for all branch officials, all nominations, plan, organize, coordinate, and supervise all party primaries, nomination and election of party candidates and all elective officials of the party, develop and maintain a register of members eligible to vote in their respective elections, register party candidates for elections, conduct voter education, extract, generate, compile, and produce a special NDC delegates register for eligible membership of the National Delegates Convention, appoint all returning officers, polling and tallying clerks, accredit election observers, receive and transmit election results from returning officers. Through the chairperson or in his absence, the vice chair shall, together with the party leader, the national party chairperson, and the party secretary general, sign for purposes of general election all party lists and candidates nomination certificate, and the party leader's signature shall be mandatory. Now, for internal party elections, shall be conducted for the following organs: National Delegates Congress, Amani Council, party leaders position, first and second deputy party leader, national chairperson's position, secretary general's position, branch executive committees, sub-branch executive committees, ward executive committees, polling center executive committees, party governors caucus, party parliamentary group, members of the county assembly caucus, ANC Women's League, and ANC Youth League. Notices of elections shall be issued 21 days, not less than 21 days with respect to all party elections due, and such a notice shall be published in one daily newspaper with national circulation and one announcement via the website. The notice shall be communicated only to members who are eligible as voters. A notice for election of members of ANC Delegates Congress shall be sent by SMS or email. Qualifications for branch officials. A member seeking nomination or election to any party, any branch party position shall first be a duly registered ANC member, have fully paid up his or her monthly subscription for all the prerequisite stardom class where applicable. This we have introduced in the new constitution what is called the stardom, and there are categories for it. Just quickly to mention, for members of the MCAs, it's 2,000 a month. For members of parliament, it's 10,000, including senators. For governors, it's 20,000 a month. So this is to encourage members to assist the party. First, you also own the party, and then the party has to run. As we all know, finances is a big issue to many parties. So one way of raising finances is through this stadium issue. Secondly, the members have to demonstrate record of commitment, service, and loyalty to the party. Member vying only for position to whose class he has subscribed. Demonstrate active participation in party programs 6 months prior to seeking nomination, unless exempted by the Amani councils for good reason specifically documented. Avail non-refundable application fee of 300 shillings for members vying for any position of polling center, except for those vying for chairperson position, who shall pay 500. 500 for those vying for any position at the ward, except the chairperson, who shall pay 1,000 shillings. 1,000 for members vying for position of sub-branch, except chairpersons, who shall pay 1,500. 2,000 for members for vying any position in branch, except those vying for the chairperson, who shall pay 3,000. All special interest groups or any position at any level shall pay 500, and those will include women, persons with disability, or any other marginalized group, which fees shall be paid to Amani National Congress by a banker's check or deposited into the account details as herein below. An application for nomination or election as an official shall include the following: a prescribed and duly completed application form as prescribed in the schedule form EB2A, containing names of such number of voters as prescribed in the party constitution, their national identity cards, passport, and signature, evidencing their endorsement support for the candidature of the applicant. A prescribed and duly completed form as prescribed in schedule form 2EB2C, containing full names, identity card, and signatures of 2 voters evidencing their commitment as proposer and seconder, copy of national ID card or passport, copy of their voter's card, a copy of certificate of their stardom class membership, or in lieu, a certificate of exemption signed by the party leader, a CV, and a duly executed code of conduct form. Disqualifications of candidates from participating in election for party officials. A member or delegate shall be disqualified from participating in an election for party officials if he or she is found pledging or showing allegiance to another political party, promoting violence, intimidation, threats, or coercion in relation to the election, misconducting him or her by engaging in bribery, disregarding party policies, decision, and election or nomination rules, uttering or publishing words which may excite or inflame racial, ethnic, religious, or gender-based hostility within or without the party, engaging in and conducting proscribed by the IBC or by election laws of the Republic of Kenya, violating the party code of conduct. Rules and procedure of internal party elections. Upon receipt and completed nomination form and the application and nomination fees, the election board shall determine the applicant's eligibility for nomination or election. The election board shall inform the applicant of its determination in writing within 15 days of submission of the duly filled prescribed form. Voting shall be by secret ballot. The election board, assisted by the returning officers and other election officials appointed by the election board, shall conduct the elections. Upon the announcement and declaration of the results by the returning officer, the winning and all candidates shall append their signatures to the form containing the results. A candidate dissatisfied with the results and who chooses to object to the outcome of the election shall indicate his or her objections and reasons on the prescribed form and shall sign against the comment, and this shall constitute a declared dispute. A winning candidate for a position which is the subject of a declared dispute shall not assume his or her role until the dispute is heard and determined by the parties' internal disciplinary and dispute resolution mechanism. Upon the declaration of the results made, objections, if any, be recorded, and all candidates signing the returning officer shall promptly submit the results in an election document material to the election board. A candidate successfully elected from the election in whose respect there is no declared dispute shall assume office within 21 days from the date of the declaration of the results. Within 14 days from the date of the declaration of the result, the Secretary General of the party shall cause the results to be filed at the office of the Registrar of Political Parties in line with the Political Parties Act, the Constitution, and these rules. Party branch elections. The EB shall carry out elections for the following branches of the party: county branches, constituency sub-branches, ward branches, polling center committees, Women League, Youth League. Election for polling center committees. Each ANC polling center committee shall elect from its members the following officials: chairperson, secretary, treasurer, representative of the polling center Women League, representative of the polling center Youth League, representative of the polling center Persons with Disability. These officials shall be elected, duly registered and paid up members of the polling center. Each aspirant must bring a list of at least 50 registered members together with copies of their national IDs as one of the requirements to be cleared to vie by the election board. These 50 members, totaling a minimum of 300 members per polling center, will form the polling center committee that will vote for the polling center officials. The election process. On the date designated for the elections, all members shall assume at the polling stations and vote. All members shall assemble at the polling station and vote by secret ballot. The members of the county election coordinating panel will have secured the venues, made the necessary arrangement for the voting material, and taken care of all election logistics. The gates at the polling station shall open at 8 a.m. when voting will commence and continue until such a time when all voters will have cast their votes, but not later than 4 p.m. After all votes have been cast and not later than 5 p.m., the counting shall begin, after which the presiding officer will then tally and announce the winner. All the aspirants or the agent will then append their signatures on Form EB6, the vote tallying form, as prescribed in the schedule. The returning officer or the election board official present will then hand over the requisite certificate to the winner. Everyone will leave the polling station except the county election coordinating panel and election board officials. The election coordinating panel will then hand over all the remaining election material to the election board, signing clearance documents and payment vouchers after being paid as per their contract. The winners of the polling center elections will form the polling center electoral college. Election for ward executive. Polling center electoral colleges will be made up of the 6 officials elected at polling center by the polling center committees. These polling center electoral colleges will then converge at the ward and elect the ward sub-branch committee. Each ward will have chairperson, secretary, treasurer, representative of the Women League, representative of the Youth League, and a representative of a person with disability. These officials will form the ward electoral college. Election of constituency sub-county committees. The members of each ward will then converge at the constituency and elect the sub-county, which will form the sub-branch electoral committee. The election of branch committee will then meet at the sub-branch electoral colleges will then meet at the county and elect the county branch officials. These branch officials will come together and form the Amani Council. Electoral colleges. For avoidance of doubt, the electoral colleges are as follows: polling center electoral colleges, ward electoral colleges, sub-branch electoral colleges, branch electoral colleges. Elections of the Women and Youth League officials. The ANC Women League and Youth League shall be constituted as per the provisions of the Constitution. There shall be elections of polling center Women League, Ward Women League, Constituency Women League, County Women League, National Women League representative. This election shall be carried out at the polling center to the national level and will be done simultaneously with the internal branch election. The elections and procedures are set out with the election apply more specifically. All interested candidates must present a list containing 50 registered members, copies of their ID, and registration form, among other documents required to vie. The 50 members shall form the center committees, which will be the ones to vote for the polling station women's representative. All polling center women representative will form the polling center women electoral college, which converge the ward and elect the ward women league representative. All ward women league come together and form the women league electoral college, and they will in turn converge at the constituency and elect the constituency women league representative. The women league representative from the constituency will converge at the county and elect the women county league representative. The women county league representative will form the chairpersons of the National Women League, who automatically becomes a member of the Amani Council. Elections of the Youth League officials. There shall be elections of polling center Youth League representative, Ward Youth League representative, Constituency Youth League representative, County Youth League representative, National Youth League representative. These elections shall be carried out at the polling station to the national level and will be done simultaneously with the internal branch elections. The branch elections and procedures as set out by the election board will apply, and more specifically, all interested candidates must present a list of 50 registered members, copies of their IDs, registration forms, among other documents to be cleared to vie. These 50 members will form the polling center committees and will be the ones to vote for the polling center youth representative. All polling station representatives will form the polling center youth league, will converge at the ward level and elect ward youth league representative. All ward youth league representatives will come together and form the ward youth league electoral college, and they will in turn converge at the constituency and elect the constituency youth league representative. The constituency youth league representative will form the constituency youth league electoral college and will converge at the county and elect the county youth league representative. The county youth league representative will then vote for the chairperson of the national league, who will automatically become a member of the Amani Council. Election of the ward county level shall be by electoral colleges, except in the polling station where league election shall be conducted by secret ballot. by the polling center committees. Party caucuses. The election board shall carry out elections for party governors caucus, party parliamentary, and members of a county assembly caucuses. Nomination of party candidates for national elections. There shall be nomination of the presidential candidate, member of the Senate, governor, member of the National Assembly, member of the county assembly, and county women representative. Announcements of vacant position. Upon a resolution by the Amani Council, the election board shall advise and receive application in forms prescribed in these rules for party elections for nomination of the position of the president, members of the Senate, governors, members of the National Assembly, members of the county assembly, county women representatives. Vetting of the candidates. The election board shall establish candidates vetting committees subject to approval by Amani Council, which shall be constituted at least 6 months to the nomination, and we shall be responsible for vetting candidates in accordance with the Constitution of Kenya, the Political Parties Act 2011, the Elections Act 2011, the County Government Act 2012, and the Party Constitution and Party Election Nomination rules. I beg to stop there. Maybe invite. Let me just touch on the qualifications, and then I will stop there. A person seeking nomination to vie for the presidency on the party ticket shall meet all the presidential requirements set out by the IEBC and provisions of the existing laws regarding presidential election, be qualified to stand for election as a member of parliament, be a member of the golden stardom of the party, be high moral standing and integrity, apply to the elections board, indicating his or her desire to vie for the position stated, fill in application in triplicate on prescribed application form, as prescribed in the schedule to the election board, duly signed by a proposer and a seconder, who shall be a bona fide and current party member, and must be registered voter in the Republic of Kenya. Prescribed endorsement form as prescribed in the schedule, containing 24,000 verifiable signatures of current party members fully subscribed, and of this, at least 1,000 of the 24,000 signatures shall be each of the 24 counties. Non-refundable fee, detailed curriculum indicating education qualification, a copy of the national identification card, a party code of conduct signed for aspirant by the commissioner of vote. I think these rules apply more or less to all other candidates. I would wish to stop there and invite any questions so far.
Okay. Thank you, Mheshimiwa Busaidi, for taking us through that session. And it has been quite comprehensive. And I'm sure there are other areas he will still touch on. So the floor is now open for questions before he proceeds to the next level. So whose hand is up? I don't see any hand up.
I have a question.
Yes, please do.
Chairman Busaid, good morning.
Morning.
Now, my question is, there's been a speculation that if you want to vie for a top seat, for example, if you are an official, if you want to vie, like, for example, County Youth League, you must come as an official from the ward level. Is it true, or you can just come from outside and still vie for a county youth position?
Thank you for your question. Yes, what we are trying to encourage, the idea behind starting off from the polling station level, as envisaged in the Constitution, is that you have grassroots support. We are trying to avoid having people, for example, at a level of national or branch, where if you go down the ground at your own polling station, you don't have support. So if you start, if you look, we have stated very clearly that you need 50 people at the level of the polling center. Now, if you're a leader who is coming and having at least grassroots support, you will be pushed from this level to the ward level, and from that ward level, you will go to the constituency level, and from there, you will be elected at the county level, and then the national level. So if you reach up there, and we go down back, you have grassroots support. Now, the way you have asked, if you have come just in the middle, it's like nobody knows you down there at the grassroots. The most important is having grassroots support, and this will strengthen the party in terms of having grassroots support. Thank you.
Ignatius, do you have a question?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Ignatius Nyukuri. I'm from Bungoma. I'm the secretary of the Youth League. I want to say that I've fully understood the concept that our friend has been trying to share. I am privy to the fact that the election board in Bungoma is in place. And I just want to know, because from the explanation, it actually means that everybody is going to seek for fresh mandate, whether to continue serving in the youth league or join the main league, and also try to find a position in that any given league, whether the main or the youth. And that will mean that we currently do not have substantive part officials, because now everybody has to go back and seek for fresh mandates. Now, there is the election board in place, and I don't know if there is any county branch officials of the party that were involved in coming up with the names of the elections board. For example, I'm privy, I don't want to mention names, but I'm privy to the fact that one of the people sitting on that particular panel is somebody I know, and is a great person from a totally different rival party. And I don't know when was that person convinced to involve herself or himself in matters ANC, and to whose interest is that particular person serving in that particular elections board. Because it would have been better if at least when we come up with names, us who are on the ground and who are supporters and serious supporters of the party, also be involved in actually coming up with the elections board members. And now that is, I know my question is ambiguous, but I'm sure you have understood what I'm trying to say. The issue of us going back to the ground, coming back up to the county level and up to the national level, whichever league that we are going to come through. So the issue is actually that, and that of the elections board members, their credibility, their affiliations, and do they really believe in ANC? Thank you.
Thank you, Ignatius. First and foremost, what I'd like to tell you, with the new constitution which came in place last year, all party officials have been carried up to July. So they like interim officials, because two things. One, there is a change over in the setup of the ANC as a party right now. If you look now, we do have 6 officials, as to previously when we had branch chairman, secretary, treasurer, organizing secretary. We have done away with that. So we have to carry out elections because of the new constitution, the requirement. Hence, all officials, you're right, all officials who are in office right now will have to seek, and they will have to do it from the level that we have stated, polling center level. This, as I said, and I'm reiterating again, it will strengthen the party. And if you are popular from that level, I'm sure you will retain your position. And what we are looking for is strong representation from grassroots level all the way to the national level. As to the election board being constituted, I cannot comment on that because that is the party itself did its own recruitment and appointment. But I hope you're not referring to the election board itself, or are you referring to what has been going on since yesterday, where we have started constituting county coordinating panels? Are you referring to what happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday was that there is a team that was presented to us in the name of the elections board. In fact, we were introduced to a returning officer, some lady, and the members of that particular election board. I don't know if it is called now a coordinating team or the election board team, because if actually we have a returning officer, that automatically tells you that this is an election board that has actually been set up. And my worries and that of the officials who were present yesterday was that some of the members who were presented to us are non-entities of a totally different, in fact, rival party to ANC within Bungoma, and we just can't tell how we are going to cooperate and work with such kind of people. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I wanted you to clarify. In my view, what you can do, because ANC is an open party, you can write to the secretariat and myself registering your dissatisfaction, and there are procedures and rules which we will follow and address such kind of dissatisfaction to the best of our ability. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm James Kivuitu. I'm very glad to be in this session. Mheshimiwa Busaidi, my questions comes from the polling station. The 50 members that you are recruiting from the polling station, what is the requirement that is needed and how much the registration for you to become an NC member? Thank you.
Thank you. Trufena, you can ask your questions that both of them can be responded to at the same time.
Okay, thank you, Isaac. Chairman, mine is, I think it's a concern, come a question. I arrived at the polling center. I was elected the chair. I go to the ward, I'm elected the chair, all through up to the national level. And behind me, I'm leaving a committee without a chair. Can someone be a chair of the ward polling until national? What is, if not, what is the criteria in filling the positions after the chair has been elected to a higher level? And if that is the case, then we should also be informed that if you go for this position, at least you're not leaving a vacuum behind you. Thank you.
Okay, Chair, let me give you a response to those two questions, and then we'll hear from John K. Gode and Sharif Jere.
Thank you. On the first one, the fee is 150 for registering as an ANC member, and I think it's very easy to recruit 50 members. And also at this junction, let me just give you a heads up. If we work very hard as ANC and get 50 members in each polling stations, just a quick mathematics. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there are about 45,000 polling stations throughout the country. That gives you 2.5 something as voters immediately. That means that it gives us ANC 2.5 million voters for our party candidate. So, and that is the minimum. If you work out the maths and you get more members, that means more sure voters for our party candidate. That said, let me answer the second question about leaving a vacuum. I'm sure once there is a vacuum, any branch advises, as you have said, that if you have gone forward and you've become a chair at branch or national level, and you have left a vacuum down there, the branch can write to the election board that there is a vacant position, and we shall call for those elections immediately so that we don't have such a vacuum. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair. Now let's have John K. Gode and Sharif Jere.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Busaidi. I'm John Kegode from Vihiga. My first question is: do we, as we recruit the polling agents or polling delegates, do we consider all ages, or as a youth we should only concentrate on registering the 50 youth, or we can mix the youth and those who are over the youth bracket? Then the second one is a concern come question for proper mechanism to ensure that rival parties don't infiltrate within us by fronting and supporting candidates who will challenge our loyal and true supporters on these positions. What mechanisms is the party putting in place so that such doesn't happen? Because I'm aware some parties might even decide to fund some people to register as members, but in the real sense, they are after taking over these positions, then they give us challenges as we move forward as a party. So what should we do as a party to ensure that such doesn't happen? Thank you.
Okay. Morning once again, everyone.
Morning.
I'm Sharif Jere. Now, I still go back to the question of being voted from the grassroots. And as the Chairman Busaida said very well, that if we get all structures populated from the grassroots, we might have over 2.5 million votes minimum. Now, my worry goes back to vying for a position at the ward level, then going back to vie for another position at the county level, etc., etc. My plea to the elections board would be that we don't have, one does not need to be an official in a lower level for him to qualify to vie for an upper level. And these are my reasons. Number one, youth have no money for campaigns. So it will be difficult for someone to be campaigning all the way from ward levels up to the county or even national level every time an election is called. Number two, leaving the vacuums will destroy continuity, because once someone is elected, they start planning for their respective positions with fellow committee members. Now imagine someone has been elected as chair of a ward level. They have started planning their things. And then the person leaves that position, leaves it vacuum, goes to an upper position. So before that position is filled at the ward level, things will have stagnated. So another reason would be, if you were to say you must vie from ward level, then proceed upwards, then the president of Kenya would have started as an MCA, then go to MP, then go to a governor, then go to maybe president or senator or something. So it is about campaigning. It is not about starting from the grassroots. Let us have all levels filled. Then someone comes, if you want to be elected maybe to the constituency level, you make sure that people who are elected at a lower level are your people. You campaign there, so that when they come at the upper level, they know you campaign, you worked for them, they elect you. That is my plea. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. You can respond to those two questions, because
Isaac, just remind me on John Kegode's question.
John, you repeat your question?
Hello?
Hello. Let John repeat his question.
Okay, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, proceed.
John's question.
Yes, I'm John Kegode from Viga.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
My question was, as youth, when we want, do we recruit everyone as polling station delegates, or we should just recruit only 50 youth and not include the other genders? Then the other one was a concern for what are the mechanisms that our party has put in place so that we ensure other parties that are rivaling us don't infiltrate our elections and plant their people there who will cause havoc for our party as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, first, because you are a youth league, so you will be recruiting youth, and you have double advantage, if I may say so, because if we are carrying out branch elections and we are starting from the polling station, at that level also there is still a representative of both women and youth. So you have representation there, and you are having representation at the level of your at the league, because the league and the women league and the youth league have been created also by the constitution of the ANC. A very interesting question that you have brought about infiltration by other political parties. That is a very concern to us, and when you are recruiting members and you are the ones recruiting, so you are the ones to make sure that you are actually recruiting ANC members who will not flip-flop from ANC to another party. Now, that will ensure that we do have genuine ANC members who will then elect officials who are ANC and close that door of infiltration by other political parties. Other political parties have been weakening other parties, specifically our own. We would want to avoid it at whatever cost this time around. So that is very important, and it will depend upon you as our officials on the ground. If I go to Sharif Jerry, Sharif, thank you very much. Let me be clear about you yourself getting elected from polling station. Not necessarily, yes, I agree with you. You can have your own people who will elect people who will come to elect you at county level or elect you at the branch level. As long as you can recruit 50 people so that you can ensure that you yourself or the people who are interested in vying for post get elected by recruiting 50 members, and then those 50 members they will form the electoral college. So when they come, they can propose anybody who is an ANC member at the level of sub county, at the level of county. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, Idi?
Yes, I just want to add on to what the chairman of the elections board has said about the electoral college. And the 50 members, it could even be more. 50 is the minimum. So you could actually recruit more. And we want to make the women league strong. We want to make the youth league strong. So again, I will reemphasize that as you are doing the recruitment, if you are a youth, take more of the youth. And if you are a woman, then also now recruit more of the women so that you make the leagues to be very, very strong. Secondly, about the issue of infiltration. I want to say, yes, it is very, very true. And these are the moments we need to be very, very careful, because we know many people are even coming at the head office to register as ANC members, but some of them are coming for a reason. So you have to do vetting as you are recruiting. So as Kegode, as you recruit the youth, do your own vetting, because you are the ones who know them on the ground. Wewe unajua mtu wa ODM, unajua mtu wa ANC, mtu wa PPK. So as you are recruiting, make sure you are recruiting ANC, people who are interested in ANC. Of course, you might get a few who will say they're interested in ANC, and but they have come for an agenda. This is now where you put in your intelligence. Find out more about each and every person. Once you are a leader and you have a team you are working with, you need to start finding out who is being sent by who. Have your own intelligence on the ground. So in Vihiga, I would propose the youth in Vihiga, get your own intelligence in the 5 constituencies and in the 25 wards. Get to know somebody. I'm sure if Margaret comes and is recruited, watakwambia pana, huyo hata si mtu wa hapa, huyu ni mtu wa Nandi. Yeye hata apige kura Vihiga, yeye anapiga kura Nandi. Unaona? So do your own intelligence. And then as you are recruiting these people, make sure they are voters. We have realized that we have quite a number of ANC members, but they are not registered voters. So when it comes to casting the vote in 2022, they are not of help to us. So we want them to be also voters. So emphasize on that, and the IBC offices are open. They can go there anytime between 8 and 4. The offices are open. Now, another thing that I just want to bring up to the meeting, I would want to hear you asking questions about nominations to vie at the general elections. I would like to hear you asking questions on how party primaries will be conducted? What is the position of the youth in the party primaries? How will the party make sure that the youth are getting into positions to vie for 2022? Please think out of the box. Thank you.
Madam Edith, did we lose you?
I was done with what I was saying.
Okay.
So I wanted now the members to now also start asking questions about the party primaries and how the party lists will be and how youth will be involved in the 2022 general elections.
Okay, I can see we have already 3 members who have raised their hands. The same, but now let's hear Amos before Ignatius and John. I see you also have questions, but let me give a priority to John. No, Amos, sorry. Amos, kindly unmute. Amos, if you can hear me, kindly unmute.
Yes, I hear you.
Proceed.
My name is Amos, as you've said, from Kisii County. First, I apologize that I joined late, and I wish that someone take. Hello.
Proceed. I apologize
Yeah.
for that.
I'm saying because I joined late. Kindly let someone else may proceed to ask the question. I'll ask later.
Okay, just that I've seen you have raised your hand for all that time. Oh, it's fine. John,
Amos,
you have a
where
question?
have you been? Amos,
Yes.
where have you been? You've been on this wall for some time.
Sorry, there were some had some issues in the office.
Okay, fine, no problem.
Probably.
Okay, John and Ignatius, we could hear your question in regards to the question from the ED, and then we let the chairperson continue with his presentation. We start with Ignatius.
Okay, thank you so much. First, let me appreciate Madam Executive Director. She has told us to be more vigilant on the ground and provide the intelligence that is needed to establish who is a fanatic of ANC and who is not. And that goes back to what I had raised earlier, that through my intelligence, I've told you that in the executive, not really in the executive, in the election board, we have members who are not in ANC, and that also brings the question of credibility and also the infiltration from other rival parties into our party that might bring us a lot of issues in future. Number two, I just want to take members back to last general elections. I don't know if I'm out of order. If I'm out of order, I'll be told. And we had a serious problem as far as ANC is concerned in Bungoma, where we had a collision in NASA, where our party leader was in NASA, and we were actually very, very frustrated, whereby the party leader will come to Bungoma and officials are not aware, but the affiliate parties in NASA are aware. They will be the ones to welcome the party leader. Some of us, we could watch from a safe distance simply because we are not aware of what's happening in the party. And to make matters worse, in some occasions, our party leader would be seen with a candidate from a different political party within NASA, and is actually supporting that particular candidate when there is an ANC candidate in that particular area. So we have had a by-election in Kapchai where some of us were majorly involved, and there was this time our party leader was also coming, and we are being just informed by 40 Kenya officials that even the party leader ANC is here tomorrow. And then when the tomorrow comes and we are lining up, we want to receive our party leader, we are told, kimbieni kwa Mheshimiwa Moses Wetangula kwa boma, Mheshimiwa anakuja huko. When we are there, Wetangula tells us, no, go back to Shiriji petrol station. That is where the party leader of ANC will begin from. So we look like children of a lesser God within our very own home, and we lacked actually the honor to really propagate, the issues of the party within our own jurisdiction. I don't know going forward how our party leader is going to improve on this particular aspect, because there is a lot of disquiet among ANC officials in Bungoma, apart from one or two guys around, but the rest on the ground, there is a serious problem, and we need this particular problem to be solved. There is that disquietness. There is we feel we are not appreciated. We feel the party leader is not concerned about us, and because it is in our hearts from the last general election, I wish, and it's my humble, submission to the executive director, Madam Margaret, that through your intervention, if we can have an official meeting in Bungoma, whether we are still interim, because now we are going back to the ground to seek for, fresh mandates, to have a meeting with our party leader, somebody we love so much, so that we air out some of these issues and we be promised that going forward, things are going to be different. Because we are worried that we might repeat, the same situation that we had last time, and I'm telling you, it's not going to be something good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can hear John, and then the ED will respond, and then we'll give the chairman to finalize the presentation because of the interest of time. John?
Yes, thank you. Thank you once again. Mine is just a concern and maybe some few questions. One, in the last elections, our party, particularly in my county, Vihiga, we didn't perform well, especially for the county ward representative seats. And as we speak to our people, they tell us they love ANC, but now the problem is when it comes to nominations, party nominations for elections, they are always shrewd. There are some people who have vested interests. They end up messing the whole process by forcing candidates on the people. So this makes us ending up to losing the seats to other parties or even independents. So my concern and my question is, how will we do things this time around differently so that we don't end up choosing wrong candidates who will end up losing in the elections? And particularly my concern is, how will these youth who are really fighting for the party, working for the party, and have a future, a political future, maybe they want to vie, not only in Vihiga, but across the country. They would love to vie on ANC tickets, but they are worried, in as much as they are ANC members and diehards, they are worried that they may be shown the door at the 11th hour and preferable candidates are brought on table. So our able Madam Edie and our able Chair Honorable Busaidi kindly enlighten us. How will things be done differently so that the youth will also benefit through the electoral process, either to be elected as members of county assembly, senators, women rep, etc. Then lastly, our party nominations. I do hope and wish that this time around, a majority of these youths who are really fighting hard for this party will be considered, because mostly in the past, we have seen people who are being nominated can't even articulate any issues of the party in any function, at any place. They don't even know how to speak. They don't even know how to address people, but they end up being nominated. So kindly let us look for people who are vibrant, people who can sell our party for these positions of nomination. And especially, let us consider these youths who have gone out of their way and they are really fighting for our party. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Isaac, can I go ahead and answer?
Yes,
John?
yes, answer, and then you can also take us back to the presentation and you finalize, and then we can conclude the meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, there are certain responses also after Saidi. There are certain responses.
Maybe we
need
go
to clarify.
Maybe you go ahead, Margaret, and then I answer John.
Fine. Okay. Thank you. I want to refer to Kegode's question, and I just reassure Kegode that last time when we had our nominations, we did not have the updated party registers. So now we have the registers, and we are also requesting the counties, because the names that come to head office come from the counties. So even at Vihiga, you should be having the party register, the membership register, so that when we do nominations, the names of the people who will vote are the names of the people who are in that register in Vihiga. So as party officials, you need to go a step ahead and even do your own verification on the ground. Another thing is that the people who are going to participate in the party nominations 2022 will be bona fide ANC members. Because sometimes you find somebody who is just a supporter, is not an ANC member, is an ODM member, but sometimes ana support ANC in certain things, anakuja ana vote. This time we are saying no, it will be the ANC bona fide members, the names that are at the registrar of political parties. Okay, so keep the party register, talk to your chairman on the ground, Honorable Mboko Milemba, and your secretary, Kaisha William, to make sure that the register is updated. The other thing is that for the youth about nominations, when it comes to nominations, please read the rules of the nomination. Not only ANC, this is the Kenyan Constitution. What does it say about the nomination of the youth? It comes under the affirmative. Okay, so when it comes under the affirmative, you'll find at the county level, the women benefit more for nominations. Among the women, we will normally take youth. You'll find that there's only one seat specific for the minority, marginalized, and people with disability. So you'll look at what we did in Vihiga. The person with a disability is a youth, okay? The person who is marginalized or minority comes from the community that is marginalized and is actually a youth. So I would say that in Vihiga, the youth were really taken care of. Even if you go to Kakamega, you'll actually find that under the affirmative action, the women who are nominated, the majority are youth. The person who was nominated as representing people with disabilities is a youth. That is Honorable Timothy Aseka. Timothy Aseka Musungu, yes, it's Timothy Aseka Musungu. He is a youth. So we really took care of the youth. Even when you go to Mombasa, the person who was nominated on the affirmative action in Mombasa is actually a youth. If you go to Tana River, the two ladies who are nominated on the affirmative, they are women, but they are youth. So actually, we took care of the youth and people with disability. But when you go to BBI, you better read BBI. If BBI passes, then there's no place for the youth, and there's no place for people with disability. And these are the questions, hard questions that you need to start interacting with and see, probably continue talking about it. Like last week when we were meeting the people with disability, we told them from different political parties, they still have to put on a case in the BBI that if it passes, then it has actually locked out the youth and locked out the people with disability, especially at the Senate, especially at the national level, and even at the county level. So those are the gray areas you need to start thinking about now. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Honorable Busaidi.
Thank you, Margaret, for your response. I may add, John, this time around, we as election board would like to make it very clear that favoritism, nepotism will be a thing of the past. We want to ensure fairness and justice is done. And we want to be fair to all, so that if we do justice and we do things above board, we are rest assured that it will build our party leader, it will build our party, it will make our party strong. We don't want to have weak candidates. And as far as nomination is concerned, as Margaret has said, if the BBI passes, then it's a different ball game. But if we are going to go with the same constitution, then we shall make sure that those nominations are fair and are going to go according to the law. But I also want to caution you, in the event that this BBI does not pass and we go into the same constitution with nomination, what happens is, I have noticed, is that people do not object to the nomination prior to elections. They have a chance of objecting and doing that and saying this is wrong, and then the internal dispute and resolution mechanism will do its work. And we've put in place quite a few of these teams that we are waiting, so that to ensure and not make the mistake that was made before. This time around, we are going to make sure that people who deserve are nominated. And we want to make sure that people who are going to go and represent ANC can articulate the matters of ANC. I think that is very important. Let me now finalize on the presentation. Are we still online, or there is interruption?
Let's proceed.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Isaac. I now want to go ahead and finalize. Again, I would like all participants, and especially the youth, please, first and foremost, familiarize yourself with the Constitution. It is very important that you get a copy of the Constitution so that you know what you are into. That is number one. Number two, work very hard in terms of building the party from the level of the polling centers. The concept is very good. This will strengthen the party, and it will give us more mandate to represent people from various areas, and specifically, if we look at the Constitution right now, where we have trimmed down to chair, treasurer, and secretary, and then the three other people who are in that committee will be from the youth, from the women, and from people with disability. This ensures that that representation of people with disability, women and youth, is all the way from polling station level up to the national level. So when it comes to taking care of our youth and our women and people with disability, the party is fully representative all the way from polling center level, ward level, constituency level, and county level. This is where we want to have decisions made. The new Constitution of Kenya, 2010, tells us that it is from bottoms up, not from top to down. So we want to have a government, or when we are saying we are a government in waiting, it is possible from the representation of the people from polling station center level that we are going to strengthen devolution. We are going to get to do things what the people themselves want. It is not going to be that people from top are deciding for what you want to do at the ground, at the grassroots level. And another thing, and which is very important for the youth to follow, please, and I want to remind you very much, we are trying to avoid violence at whatever cost. Our party is called Amani. Amani means peace, and we want to have peace and set an example to other political parties. Let us have our differences, but we agree to disagree, so that in a very dignified manner that we carry out our business. What we want to encourage people is also that once we have these elections, when you have participated in an election and you, by bad chance, you are a loser, join ANC, whoever is going to win, and support that person. That will show that you are truly an ANC member and that you want to strengthen the party. This is very important. And if we follow our own rules and regulations and our constitution and the constitution of the country, then we shall build a better party. We shall have an example for others to follow. I think it is very important to adhere to our own rules and then be ready to support the party at whatever cost. If we are going to follow that and we do hard work, as John Kigode says, the youth that have given everything to the party, I think they will benefit this time in a lot of ways, not necessarily that by being given positions, but by having a party which is going to deliver to the country what we have promised. I think that is very important. And last but not least, again, I do remind each and every member of ANC that it is important for us to be members of this party wholeheartedly, follow our rules, follow the constitution of this party, and support our party leader. So this time around, we will win this election and we are ready for State House. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bona Chairperson, for your time, for taking the members through the party nomination and election document. At this moment, you are going to give an opportunity for questions. Kindly let us restrict our questions to the presentation, and let us avoid going off topic. I can see we have new people who have raised up their hand. We will start with Maslin, and then followed by Lusimba, and Trofena Sembo. Then once we pick three, they get responded to, and then you have another round of question and answer. Madam Edie, once the chair is giving the answer, you can also feel free to jump in and also weigh in your inputs. Maslin, continue.
Okay, I had the question on the previous topic, not this one. So am I allowed to ask?
Kindly speak through your microphone so that we can be able to hear you well.
I had a question on the previous topic.
Okay, you can ask.
Okay. Mostly we have a problem with the election. As Trofena asked before, my question will line with her. You can be like in my sub-county, we have a chair who is also a member at the branch level. So how are you guys going to correct such things? Like there's no position for other people to lead. You find someone is a chair at the sub-county and still a member at the branch level.
Thank you so much, Maslin. Lusimba.
Okay. My name is Lusimba. I have two questions. Hello. Hello.
Proceed, we can hear you. Proceed.
Okay, my first question is I've been asked several times about how do I join ANC party instead of coming to the office. I've been unable to answer this question. Do we have an online registration form where somebody can register, scan his documents, which is a copy of ID, and then present maybe to an email address for registration instead of coming physically to an office or filling the physical papers? That's my first question. My second question is on the structural elections of our party. Soon we were told we'll have a structural election in Nairobi from 4th to around 6th of next month, April. But because of Corona issues and what the President said last week, they were postponed. But we don't know they were postponed to when. Then what are the requirements if somebody is vying at the county level, like me? I'm vying for youth leader Nairobi County. Who are the voters of Nairobi County? Are they from ward level or they're from the constituency youth leaders? And are they youth leaders or alone, or the structure of 16? Are they 20 members? Are they the voters of county level, or is the youth leader alone, or youth leader and the secretary? How many people are voting at the county level in the structural elections? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lusimba. Let's have Trofena.
Mine is about post nominations. You find that after party primaries, most of the people who participated as aspirants tend to leave the party, maybe to vie as independent or join other political parties. What is the measures the elections board has put in place to make sure that we don't lose these members and ensure that after someone has lost in the party primaries, they can still join the candidate that the party will be fronting to make sure that they campaign for the candidate? And what is the elections board offering such aspirants so that we don't find a fallout from our members? Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have the last one from Amos. Amos, kindly now ask your question, and then we'll get the responses.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, proceed. We can hear you, Amos.
Yes. Now my concern is that it's true that we need to recognize that our party, ANC, is a national party, which is pushing for a national agenda. And but we've seen criticism even from opponents from other parties. And this is why I want to put my question that what are the plans do you have as our party top officials to decentralize the energy of selling the manifesto of the party, the agenda of the party, from one region, especially call it from Western now to other parts of the country, especially if I can be specific to my county, Kisii, that is perceived actually as an ODM stronghold, but when you come to the ground, it's not true. Because what are the factors that are used to determine the strength of the party in a region? If you come to Kisii County in our past elections, 2017, we don't have an ODM member of parliament who was elected. We only have a governor, a senator, and a women rep. How can someone conclude that this is an ODM stronghold? And this is where now my concern is that kindly top officials, is there any plan that you put in place to ensure that our party leader comes out now to the ground to these parts that are perceived to be stronghold for other parties, which is not true, to ensure that we set our agenda strongly to the people and and also our party leader to interact with the people. And secondly, which is my last question, is I could wish to understand, because I understand that we are going to have, we should be having structural elections for our party leadership in different counties. And someone like me is interested to vie at the county level. Are going to be done, and who are going to vote for us.
Amos?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I think I've finished.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Now let me give a chairman. You can go first, and then Madam Edie, and then once the two of you are done, we are going to have another round of questions, and then we'll wind up the session. Chairperson.
Thank you, Isaac. Maslin, by having elections from polling center level, and then to ward level, and then to constituency, and then county, we are going to remove this vacuum so that in each level, there will be proper representation and remove this syndrome of having somebody who is a branch official control the level of a sub-branch or what level. I think this we will ensure by having these various elections in different areas. Lusimba, I will answer you on the issue of you yourself contesting. As I've explained, if you were from the beginning, all elections for branch officials, for youth league, for women league, we will start them from the level of polling station level and go all the way up to ward, constituency, county, and then national level. So if you're interested for Nairobi, start off having your own members, 50, who can come and elect you at whatever level you feel like. Once you have your people, the 6 that are going to contest, they will elect you at county level if you wish. The timetable has been revised. We will issue a new timetable. Right now, we are at the level of setting up county coordinating panels. We have tackled the Western region. We'll come down and form these panels. Once we have formed the panels, we will issue the timetable for having those elections. So prepare yourself from that level. As to matters of having recruitment online, I'll leave the ED to answer that one. Trofena, yes, we shall, if you listened to me, I said that I would wish all the candidates, and we want to make this sure when the candidates are applying for primaries, we want to ensure from that time that they will abide to the rules of ANC. And if you are an ANC member, and we have put in place mechanism to resolve any disputes, once an election has been done and you are a true member at heart, if you lose an election, you will support the winner so that you want the party to win. If you are selfish, you will leave the party and you will go and run as an independent. We want to avoid that one as much as possible. That is why we want to try and have the primaries as early as possible so that we strengthen our party with strong candidates and have losers support those candidates. Lastly, Amos, your concern, you've mentioned a lot of things. Maybe some of them would be answered by the ED, but of concern is the one of election where you want also to contest. As I've told the other people, start off from the level of recruiting people from polling center level, who will ensure that they are the ones who are going to come as an electoral college. We will have elections at the polling station level, thereafter ward level, which will create a college towards constituency level. This constituency level will then come and elect county officials. So if you have members from down there, it will be a good way of having yourself been elected. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I think.
Fine, thank you. I think I want to maybe just add 1 or 2 things on what the chairman has said. The first one is on Mercy. Mercy Mandera, your question is very valid. And we don't anticipate to have a person holding 2 positions at the branch and then at the sub branch. If there are those kind of things, please you note them and let the branch get to know and let us also know so that we give proper guidelines. We are here to help you and give guidelines. There's no point of somebody becoming the chair at the sub branch level, and then the same person again is probably a secretary at the branch level. No. We need to distribute these positions to other able leaders. We have got very, very many leaders. So let's do that. Lusimba, you asked about the online registration. We have an active website and we have got thousands of people now who are actually registering on the website. So just go to the website and see what is there. You can get all the full details from the youth coordinator, Trufena Assemble. Make sure that you give the information of the website to the other youth members so that they are not left behind. And then the other one on Trufena, you've asked the elections board, what mechanisms have they put in place to avoid a fallout? If we do fair and credible elections, nominations at party primaries, we should not have any fallout. But if our branches do shady nominations, then that's where the problem comes in. But we want to talk to the aspirants before we go into the party primaries, and we speak with one language as a family. That if one of us gets it, let us support him or her as a family, and we move on. So we have to keep talking to our people to avoid the fallout. We expect the youth, the national youth and the other youth to continue talking to our people out there and telling them that we will have fair and credible party primaries. And then for Amos, about Kisii, making sure that the party leader is not stagnated in the Western region alone, we were actually making plans. That a lot is going on. Sometimes we don't shout, sometimes we don't put it on the walls, but there's a lot of things that are going on. And soon you will hear the activities in Kisii. Party leader has started going out. Just recently, if you remember, he was in Meru. He has made inroads in Central. Today he is in Coast Province. And we are going to come to Kisii in a very, very short time. What I would urge you, Amos, is when you have time also visit the office so that we can plan with you. You give us ideas and see how we can bring the party leader on the ground. So that's all I can say. And I can see because of the time, I want to hand over the program back to Isaac for us to do a wrap up. Thank you, Isaac and team.
Thank you so much, Madam Edie, and also thank you, Chairman Busaidi. Do we have any other member with a burning question before we? Okay, it seems we don't have any other member with the burning questions. From the Center for Multi-Party Democracy, we are delighted that the Amani National Congress has had an opportunity where the youth leaders from various counties have been given a platform to discuss about the party primaries and nomination processes. And as the ED has said that once we have credible party primaries, once you have transparent party primaries, then you are going to give room and space for every person to participate in the political environment, a fair and equal chance. And it is our hope that we are going to have less fallout in our political parties, even less conflicts within our political parties. So I'm not going to add much. Let me say thank you so much, Amani National Congress Party, and we look forward to continuous conversation in regards to strengthening the party nomination and election processes. Thank you so much, and may you have a blessed afternoon.
Thank you so much, ANC family.
Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you so much.
Mchunge corona.
Thanks so much.
Corona ikapona.